Cool.
We good?
We're good. Give us the
Check
intro.
one, check one. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to episode 24 of Fractional, Chris Capone's podcast that he's doing with notable individuals throughout the Wilmington region. Unfortunately, for episode 24, this is what you got. Not so notable. Is that a good intro?
Oh, that's the
Good.
best intro we've had, man. You got to start coming to all the episodes.
I'll just come do a little voice thing to start them off.
That was awesome.
Anyway,
Thanks.
thanks for having me, man.
So, tell us, what do you do here?
Well,
What is it that you do here?
I'm the old guy in sales here. I've been in sales with Wilmington Media Marketing, our new brand, but I've been in sales with the company since October of '09. So coming up on a 15-year anniversary, actually. And they don't need me managing anything. They just want me selling. Just get out there and work the room and tell people about what we do and how we can help grow their businesses. So that's my thing.
That's awesome.
That's
man.
my jam, man.
And you've created in my opinion, a really good brand for yourself.
Oh, thank you.
People know who you are. They know what you do, and you're just a fun guy to be around, which is exemplified by the introduction that you just gave for the podcast.
Right
And
on.
that's why I wanted to talk to you, is I wanted to learn more about your story, what you do, and let's share some knowledge on what's going on in Wilmington and
Sure.
how we can help some other business owners and stuff like that.
Well, it's a big year for me. I turned 60 in May.
No way.
My 30th wedding anniversary is in September, and my 15th work anniversary in October. So it's 2024 is kind of a big deal. Around the time that I turned 60, I started feeling my knees hurting, and my blood pressure apparently is a thing now. So I'm just a picture of health, but I'm going to keep doing all the right things. So drinking beer, eating good food, and going to the Y at least 3 days a week. So,
There you go.
But yeah, man, I'm excited, honored to be, with this company. Rob bought the publications in 2007, and I got an email from my mother-in-law in 2009 saying that from Sue Meyer. Do you know Sue Meyer with Copiers Plus? She worked at the Business Journal then.
Yeah.
And she sent out an email to friends and folks that she served on boards with and was like, we're hiring a salesperson. And so I'd been working for Auto Trader for years, and at the time was a specialist rep. So I called on motorcycle and power sports dealers. And you might know 2008 and 2009, what happened to that discretionary
tough
spending
year.
thing. So
Couple years.
we were kind of on tough skids at that time, and came in and interviewed with Rob and Judy, and got this opportunity, and looks like I'm just going to ride it out till I'm 70th birthday. Hopefully I'm retiring somewhere around that point. But yeah, it's been a good run. Rob's a great guy, man of integrity, vision, all these things. You can't see everything on the wall, but we built a lot of brands around kind of that beginning Business Journal and Wilma brand. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on all your milestones.
Sure.
That's
It's a big year.
A lot of big stuff going on.
Yeah.
What we were talking about is we were just kind of waiting to set up. Okay, so it's like Wilmington Media Marketing is the mother brand,
That's
or
right.
the main brand, right?
That's
and then
right.
you have these different pieces of assets or underneath, right?
Right. So all these different print, digital, and event offerings. So kind of the two primary brands being the Business Journal and Wilma magazine.
Right.
And then we also have a Good Life brand, which reaches like folks, senior living, 55 plus, folks thinking about retirement or retired. And then this year we rolled out Feast Wilmington, which is a whole new wider audience, reaching folks both, in our O&O audiences, but a much wider swath of the community now. So we're hoping Feast Wilmington grows into being Wilmington's version of like the Charleston Food and Wine Festival or the Austin Food and Wine Festival. So it's the hardest thing we've ever done. And if you'd have been around last fall, you would have seen Rob a couple of times thinking about bailing out of this thing.
I was kind of around, and Rob and I have always, we're always talking and stuff. And I do remember the amount of work that you guys put in to get that thing launched is incredible.
Yeah. So my first career was in the restaurant industry. So I was like, dude, are you sure? Do you know what you're getting into here? This is a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, it was an awesome event. We went brought the kid as well.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's right. I remember you guys coming. Yeah. That was awesome.
It was an awesome event, and I'm looking forward to this year you guys having more time to be able to kind of get some things in place.
We launched ticket sales for next March's event. We're already selling tickets.
And you're already selling tickets, I heard.
So it's kind of exciting.
That's amazing.
We will be much more prepared. To have approached it as rapid fire as we did. We were very fortunate. It went off almost without a hitch. 70 restaurants showed up and showed out. All those chefs, 20 breweries. End of Days was our exclusive spirit sponsor. Yep. It was a home run. All 4 events went very well. People had a great time. There's little glitches here and there, but overwhelmingly super positive response for a first year event. And there were chefs that were wary of it the first year that have now said to us, "Oh, we're in next year," because they heard from the other chefs that operationally it went very well and was easy for them. That's what you want to do when you do a festival that's going to involve 70 chefs. You want it to be easy for the restaurants and the chefs to show up and create their magic rather than having to tote stuff halfway across a football field and all that kind of thing. We made it easy for them. So man, it was a real home run. So. But that's a lot about our most recent new brand. But the OGs are the Business Journal and Wilma. And when I first started, we had 2 or 3 Wilma events. Wilma Dash, which is still going. I think it started in 2008, and 1,400 women running that race every year, or this past year at least. And then we have had a couple of other, like a celebrity and bachelor auction.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then like a fashion show, and anyway, those all kind of went away, and we kept the Wilma Dash. And then the Power Breakfast series was the first Business Journal event. So that's been going since 2008.
And that's got to be one of the bigger flagship events
certainly.
that you guys do.
Yeah, so I've been here since 2009. I don't think we've never had less than 400 people at a Power Breakfast. So it's that's an institution,
I love those events.
Yeah, it's really become an institution. And that comes from Rob having done a really good job over these 16 years of curating timely discussions.
Yeah.
And for him most recently to have pulled off getting the 2 governor's candidates, he worked incredible. For 2 months on that.
I know.
And I think we got the final agreement from the second candidate 16 days before the event.
Well, I was kind of giving Rob a hard time. I was like, the Power Breakfast is supposed to be announced. When's it coming? He's like, I know, I'm working on it.
It's usually we try to announce them at least 6 to 8 weeks out because there's all these factors that come into play with, especially when you have a panel discussion with, 4 or 5 people, then sometimes even our dates can change. We reserve dates, but sometimes our dates have to change because of the availability of, the March one was filmed. We had the head of Cinespace Studios that flew out from LA.
Yeah.
To be at the frickin' Power Breakfast, which was awesome. So anyway, that was kind of our first big event with the Business Journal brand, and then obviously, we started. I think our daily emails started in 2008. Prior to that, it was just a monthly print newspaper, and then we went to twice monthly in 2009, I believe. And then over the time, 2011, we added the Wilmington Biz Conference and Expo.
Yep.
Same year we added the Wilma Expo, and then it's just been a roll since that. It's a lot.
I know. I'm just looking up on the wall here. There's 17, right?
Yeah.
17 different
a lot of brands.
Properties and
brands. And so it's interesting. When I meet with people, I want to tell them about all that we do.
Yeah.
And by the time I'm finished, they're kind of looking at me like they're exhausted. I'm like, I know, man. Can I breathe for a minute? Like it's a lot of stuff. So.
Well, it's actually a good segue because what I wanted to ask you was, in your role as a sales executive, as a salesperson for Wilmington Media Marketing, what does it look like what does that look like when you go to speak with business owners? I mean, walk us through kind of how that works.
So I'm always just asking them about, I want to learn about them first. I want to learn about their companies, what their goals are, who they need to reach, who is their audience, what is that kind of persona of an individual or group of individuals that need to learn about their company. So a lot of my time is spent initially talking about them, and just learning about them, because that then shapes what are these things on the wall that might make sense for them. So I just want to talk about them and learn about their businesses and their goals. What are their pain points? Where are they struggling? Who are they having, difficulty reaching? Are they, what are they doing for marketing? What's working? What's not? That's kind of my approach, and then start down the path of telling them all that we do.
Yeah, here's some options.
And I obviously, I'm not going to wear them out, with information about something that's not likely a good fit for them. So touch highlights on all we do, but then kind of drill down on the things that make more sense. So that's usually how our initial conversations go. And I'm a relationship guy. I usually, if you and I were in a meeting right now, I would have already known where you grew up. I would want to know about your family. I would want to know about how where you went to college, how did you start this business. That's the kind of thing I like to learn about people first, because that's kind of my jam, is just getting to know people. So yeah.
Well, and also, I get a sense from you is, you genuinely want to help people.
Oh, sure.
And that's why I'm asking you these questions, to learn about your business. And then the sale isn't so much of trying to close a sale. It's like, hey, I've got some really good options that could really help your business.
Right.
And, and it's...
Yeah, that's how that's what we're able to do for people. And a lot of what we do is, is helping them connect with other business owners or individuals that need to learn about what they do in the community. And we are kind of known, the Business Journal staff is kind of known for helping connect people. We get a lot of emails and phone calls every week from folks that go, hey, do you think you could, anybody that works there, or can you introduce me to somebody that works there? Or because we're, with all the events that we do and all the meetings that we are on, we meet a lot of people. So that's just kind of a tangible thing that we're able to do for people that has nothing to do with whether you're spending money with us or not. We want to help people in the community.
Yeah.
So.
Well, to that point, I was like looking forward to bringing this up. But at one of the after hours events, I think it was at I was at one of the breweries in the right across from the Coke building. Help me out. Not the brewery.
Highwire?
No, not Highwire. The one.
Oh, Bowstring.
Bowstring. Thank you. You guys had an event at Bowstring 9 months ago. I can't exactly remember, but specifically, I'm at the event. You're there, and you introduced me to Wayne Hippo. And you and Wayne were together, and you just came up to me, and you're like, Chris, you and Wayne, need to meet each other. We shook hands. We said, next thing, 3 months later, Wayne and I are working together.
Oh, awesome.
And that's that's what's so cool about what you guys do.
Right.
Is that, and going to those events is, there's just so much benefit to being involved with the Biz Journal and Wilmington Media Marketing and all this stuff. And
well, yeah, I agree, and people do it for us also, and what I find is that this community of people that are out in the networking realm that go to events and come to our events or other events, they genuinely like helping each other. I've talked to so many people that have moved to this community that are just kind of overwhelmed by, I don't know, call it business hospitality, if you will. People want to help them get connected and oh, you need this service? Oh, you should talk to my friend Tom. That kind of thing. It's just kind of a constant. It's fairly prevalent, and a great thing. So
yeah. We have an incredible small business community and ecosystem here, and just like you said, is going to these events is there's a lot of people that want to help other people.
Sure.
Everybody's got their own interests and at front, which is important. You gotta be focused on what you're trying to achieve. But yeah, every experience that I've had it's always just like, how can I help you?
Right.
And then typically it comes back around. Help other people. It typically comes back around the other way.
Sure. Where are you from?
I was born in the DC area.
Okay.
And we lived in Baltimore, Maryland area, and then when I was 7, we moved to California in the East Bay, like San Francisco area, and basically kind of grew up
What's
there.
your family do?
My dad was in sales.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah.
Like with a national company?
For Jacuzzi.
Get out. Jacuzzi's founded in my home state of Arkansas.
So Roy Jacuzzi like I know Roy. Like Roy was someone that I met.
Right?
Like,
Isn't that right? They were an Arkansas-based company. I'm pretty
I
sure.
gotta double check that with Dad.
Yeah.
When I talk to Dad later, I'm gonna ask him. But yeah, so my dad was in sales, and so I know the that grind and that lifestyle.
Right.
But
Jacuzzi's that's the Coke. Jacuzzi is to hot tubs what Coke is to pop. Soda.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly.
Yeah.
So when I tell
let's
people,
get in the jacuzzi, man.
yeah, exactly, and it could be some other brand that's not even jacuzzi. Yeah.
I mean, if I had a jackleg hot tub, I would still call it a jacuzzi
Yeah, exactly.
when people came over.
That's so funny. But I talk to people, I still have a lot of friends on, the West Coast and up in the Baltimore, Washington area. And when I tell them, about the business community here, and sometimes like people come down and visit and come to some of the events, and they're like, man, this is such a cool community because it's like, it's small enough where you don't have like 50 networking events going on each week.
Right.
There's like a select few.
Right.
And if you go to those, you're typically seeing the same people. But it's also big enough where, there's a lot of opportunity. So you're not like lost in the sea of like, I got to go to, 25 networking events
Right.
to try to like reach everybody.
Right.
But
it's also nice to not have to drive an hour across town to get to a networking event,
I
which
know.
is,
Which could
I mean,
only-
we're getting close to that for some people in kind of the
Yeah.
outlying areas here.
Yeah.
It's getting close to being that. But that's why I like living close to downtown.
Yeah.
Live
definitely.
and work close to downtown.
So you were telling me, so before, when you started with the Business Journal, it was downtown.
Yeah, so our old office was on Front Street.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to Chop's Deli on Front Street?
I love that.
So
place.
our office was in the
love
back of
that
that
place.
building, kind of a dank old one big open room. It kind of smelled of a basement smell,
Nice.
kind of like when we moved and took all of our, we have reserved copies, archived copies of like all of our magazines and our newsprint business journals.
Yeah.
Like you would go back to one of those boxes in our new office out in Mayfair and open it and it'd be like, oh God, it was still there with you.
You
that
could still
dank
get the
kinda
smell.
Yeah, but it was, that's where the founder, Joy Allen, started the publication there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Chop's Deli opened, man, that was a home run situation. We didn't have to stand in line. We just call in our order and then they would show up with it. They bring it back to our office. But yeah, right next to the old post office downtown. And I loved it. I loved being on Front Street. It's just a great energy. And so when in 2013, we needed to upsize that space. Didn't have, our conference table sat out in the middle of this great big room. And so editorial, you usually want to have separation between editorial and sales. They were right there. And so if you wanted to have a meeting or if you were going to get fired, you usually go to Port City Java. That's where if somebody's walking you down to Port City Java, you either know that it's a meeting that you're involved in or you're about to not be here anymore. So
my gosh.
because you couldn't have a private conversation in our office.
Yeah.
So we needed a bigger space. We were growing. We needed some private office spaces, and we just happened to get connected with a guy that was needing to downsize at the time, and that office space we had out in Mayfair was a nice next step up for us, and we just got a hell of a deal and couldn't turn it down. Really, we really didn't want to leave downtown.
Yeah.
We searched downtown because there's something about the Business Journal brand that kind of has a downtown groove to it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, and when I started telling people that we were moving back down here, they were like, "Makes perfect sense."
Yeah.
So, and I'm so happy to be back down here. So
Yeah, I'm
that's
happy.
awesome.
I'm happy you guys are too. I mean, especially where we are on the fourth floor of the building here.
They can't see the view, but I'm looking at Thalian Hall out this window,
Yeah.
and then
the bridge and the
any of the
river.
windows along this wall, you see Cape Fear Memorial Bridge and the river and the rooftop. So it's pretty special.
Yeah, it just feels right.
Yeah, and just get out and go for a walk and just kind of shake the dust off, and
Yeah.
you'll see 3 or 4 people that you know and grab a coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, the bad thing about it is that there's probably 60 lunch options within about a 4-block
And they're all
radius,
so good.
which is not good for me because I tend to take advantage of those, and it's more expensive to
But at least you're walking to lunch,
That,
right?
oh, hey, that's a see.
You see, you guys-
Thanks for looking on the bright side.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to tell my wife you
Yeah,
said
you're getting
that.
your steps in.
Yeah. My commute went from 24 minutes to 6.
Yeah.
So
It's a
I
game
love
changer.
it. Yeah, I love it.
What is your favorite publication, or what is your favorite event, or what is your favorite media property of the whole mothership?
That's a great question. I've had good luck with, the two kind of principal brands, the Business Journal and Wilma, helping, business owners. But I mean, from an event perspective, the most fun thing we do is the Wilma Dash.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. It's just I call it our turbo girl power party. So, when I started in 2009, that would have been the second year. I think we had like 225 women that did the dash. This year in May, we had 1,400 women.
No way.
And so we outgrew the Coastline Conference Center, the old buildings by, where a loft is now.
Yeah.
We used to use that event. We outgrew that I think when we got about to 900 or 1,000 runners, we couldn't do it there anymore.
Yeah.
And so now we're at the convention center, and so 1,400 women and all of their supporters and about 50 or 60 exhibitors inside the expo hall. So that starts at 4 o'clock, the gathering does, and then at 6:30 you have 1,400 women line up and run out of the building and onto the Riverwalk, and then they run back in the building. And so there's this finish line, there's music, there's hooting and hollering, and most races you get like a bottle of water and like half a sandwich.
Yeah.
This one they have beer and wine tickets on their runner's bib.
Love
and
it.
we do a full-blown healthy buffet. We literally have to kick them out. Like at 9 o'clock, they're celebrating.
Right.
I think, a couple of years we've had like 200 women from Compass Point all dressed in pink tutus. It's just, it's a really fun event. I think it's one of the best things we do. So it's really cool. And 1,400, that's a lot of people in a race.
That's a lot of people.
So it's grown into one of the larger races around here that's just a local race, certainly. So, and the fact that it's women only. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So the way that the sales team is set up here, like if I talk to any sales rep, are they able to help me with any type of publication or any one of the media properties?
They are, and as we've grown, that's been kind of a struggle for us, is do we need to segment and have, like a Business Journal specialist I work with, Business Journal clients only, and then we have, maybe a younger salesperson that starts new and she's working with Wilma clients or something like that. But it always has ended up that they pretty quickly start selling all the other products, because often all of our offerings are viable for different businesses. So so it's been hard to figure out the right way to segment it. But currently we all sell all of our offerings, and it's quite a learning curve when a new person starts with us. I mean, it's a lot to take on, because not only are you learning about all these different entities, but then all the minutia, all the details, why it works, what are the features and benefits, how it's all structured, the details. It's pretty overwhelming for people. So it's a lot. But so currently, Angela is our VP of sales, and our team, we all report to her, and she's very patient working with this unique old bird, and putting up with my personal approach to doing business. Which it's frustrating, I think, to her at times. Man. So, but she's trying to build structure into my life, and it's very painful for me. like time blocking. What the hell is that? What the hell is time blocking?
Man, I've worked in a business where I had to oversee some sales, and have talked with and just understand, but. Managing salespeople, that is that's no walk in the park.
Yeah, if you send me out on as many sales appointments as you like, that comes easy.
Right.
Getting Craig to focus and do his paperwork and do the proposals and all the things all the nuts and bolts pieces of it. Yeah, that's a challenge. Go ask Judy Budd. When I first started, Judy was my sales manager, and those first couple of years, man, we were oil and water, and now she's one of my dearest friends, and love her to death. And we had a great time working together for probably, I guess we probably worked together for 13 years. So the last 11 were awesome.
And Judy was the founder of the.
Well, no, she came on. She was Rob's first hire.
Okay, got it.
And was his sales manager for many years. And then she just kind of moved into like an associate publisher role and just kind of did her special things, and then she had, a very large book of business that she covered for the company. So yeah, she was, what a rock, what a legend, man, what a force. Have you been around Judy much?
I don't think so.
Yeah, she's
I don't think so.
she's a dynamo. She worked till she was probably 75, I think. So, yeah, just a force. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't met her, but yeah.
I definitely have, and have
Yeah.
like bumped shoulders and stuff,
Yeah.
but have never been able to have a constructive conversation.
Yeah. So she brought Maggie on. She
Yep.
brought Maggie on, and then me. So Maggie's been here. December will be 16 years. October, 15 years for me. Vicky.
So are you and Maggie the two like longest tenure?
Yeah. That's right. We are the longest tenured employees at this point, after Judy left, for sure. So,
Right.
Maggie and I, we used to say like we're work wife and husband, but it's more like we're brother and sister, because we fight and we kind of mess with each other a lot, but we're each other's biggest supporter too, and kind of marching through things, because as you grow and you bring on people, I think maybe we were at like 11 or 12 employees when I started, and now we're over 20, and over the years a lot of changes and growth. You got to have some good relationships to withstand the stress of that.
Definitely.
So we've been around a long time. And Rob, I guess I'm known as the senior account executive. Rob calls me his senior citizen account executive. So,
do you get the Good Life publication delivered to your house?
I fit the persona. I am the Good Life. I am Good Life.
You are
now.
the Good Life, man. Should just put a picture of you on the
that's another thing that
brand.
sucks, is this aging thing. It's like, man, I'm like, my knees, my blood pressure, and now I'm part of the Good Life.
And now you're part of the Good Life.
But it's going to be about 10 more years before I can truly enjoy it like it's supposed to be. So I'm going to have to work a while. So, but it should be this should be a good gig to kind of ride out my glory years on, don't you think?
Yeah,
I don't want to go somewhere else at this point.
Well, I mean, I think it's just Wilmington in general, as a small business community, there's so much happening. There's so much growth. I think you're just in a great spot to continue. Because the hardest part of sales is building up that book of business, that reputation, that network.
Right.
You've been doing it for 15 years.
Right.
You've done a pretty good job of making yourself known.
Right.
So why would you do something different?
Some people say that I'm the first one they hear when I enter the room. So maybe, I'm the loudest. Maybe it's not bad being the loudest guy in the room. So anyway,
Yeah, but back to, managing a sales team and managing salespeople, I mean, it's so difficult, because it's like, I need you to like follow some guidelines and some rules, because we have to have some structure and we have to like set the tone so that younger employees. But at the end of the day, if you're crushing sales and you're bringing in all this revenue, it's kind of like, what are you going to do?
It's like managing a bunch of howler monkeys or something. Like they're just and of course when you bring something new like that, like structure and stuff, I'm like but I'm trying. Angela's very good at getting me to try to reshape my thinking and about how to go about things. I'm a horrible procrastinator, so she's working with me. She deserves much praise for her patience with me. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to
teaching an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, it's been a journey. So for her especially. So yeah.
Do you guys have any like internal like friendly sales competitions?
Yeah, we've got one going right now, for most new contracts for the month of July, a little cash bonus. So
nice.
Yeah, we do that kind of stuff, and like so part of what we're doing is establishing like new kind of protocols for kind of measuring our productivity and our pipeline. So so we've got a point system that we've set up based on number of calls, number of emails, number of meetings, number of proposals, number of contracts, and all that kind of build toward this number that we've set. And so during the summer, if we in fact hit our number each week, then we get the following Friday, we get half day off. So it's a little summer bonus program, which is kind of awesome. Yeah. Well, everybody should have it.
And let's be honest. I mean, in Wilmington during the summer, not many people are working on Friday afternoon. It's like an unspoken
It's bizarre. I grew up on a farm. The only afternoon you took off was Sunday afternoon. It's bizarre to me how like in the summer and then around the holidays, around here, forget about it.
Yeah.
People are just, they are done. They're checking out. So,
Yeah.
yeah, most holidays start about 3 days before. So,
Hey, I'm not opposed to it.
I like it. I
I'm
like
like
it,
it, man.
Yeah.
I'm with it. So I didn't know you grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
I knew you grew up in Arkansas.
Yeah, that's right.
So tell us, so growing up on a farm, tell us about that a little bit. And then I want to hear like what brought you to Wilmington.
So I'm the baby, and people have heard me tell this story countless times. You clearly haven't. I'm the baby of 7 from an old school farm when I was little.
Amazing.
We went to town on Saturday, down 8 miles down a gravel road to get like coffee and flour and sugar because we grew everything else.
I love it.
We had a milk cow. We had chickens, pigs, cows. We had fruit. We had probably an 1.5 acre garden. We had truck patches of potatoes and onions. Our main income was our orchards, so we had peaches and apples and pears and blackberries and strawberries, and so that was kind of that old school model that I think some of these like younger progressive smaller farms are trying to get back to.
Yes.
But it's so much hard work. It's so much hard work, and so my dad, I was a real late addition to the family. My dad was 55 and my mother was 45 when I was born.
Okay.
So I was 10 when my dad retired and sold the farm. But of course, I worked in a garden and fruit trees in our yard. And then I started driving tractor for other farmers when I was probably 12 years old. So yeah.
I love how like farm rules are just like completely different than like I want to say like real life rules, but
there's not a lot of OSHA, yeah.
12 years
Get
old,
the work done.
drive this tractor,
Oh yeah, I was probably driving a tractor when I was 7 or 8. I'm guessing, not with great focus, but at least a little, little jobs, and I learned how to drive on a 3-on-the-tree Ford pickup truck,
How cool is that?
Yeah, so yeah, it was a unique upbringing, having parents that, when I graduated high school, they were 73 and 63,
And how old was your eldest sibling?
So I'm 60, my oldest sister is 81.
Wow.
Yeah, my parents had 5 kids in the first 6 years they were married, then they skipped 11 years and had another sister, and then 4 more years and had me.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, birth control was clearly not much of a focus for them. So I'm sure they were.
Well, I'm glad that it wasn't, because we're here today together.
That's right. Thank you, Ben and Rena.
So then how'd you get from growing up on a farm in Arkansas to Wilmington?
Quick story, I was a theater major in college, in which my father was just like, oh my God, what is he doing? A farmer's son going to be a theater major in college.
Gosh,
and then I was a scenic and lighting design guy in graduate school. And then I kind of had a change of heart in grad school, and I took a leave of absence, and I started waiting tables at this I moved to one of my sisters who had a couch that I could sleep on. I started waiting tables and at this little place, and the guys had 2 or 3 restaurants, and when I left 12 years later, they had 26 restaurants, and so and I was running like 6 of them. So rapid
Holy
fire,
smokes.
cool growth, and I got out of that business at a young age, which I'm very grateful for, but I met my wife working in Memphis together. And so
your sister was living in Memphis.
Little Rock, Arkansas. So I was at graduate school at Ole Miss, went to Little Rock, Arkansas,
Got it.
started working with this company, and then I was opening some stores, and I worked in Memphis for a while, and then that's where I was when I left the company. But my wife grew up in Memphis. We met working together, which happens often in the restaurant industry. You meet people at work because you work all the time.
Exactly.
And then my wife had gone to college over at St. Andrews in
Where's
Laurinburg. It's a little
Oh,
private,
yeah,
little
on the
private
way up to
school.
Charlotte from
Yep,
here.
Yep. And she was familiar with this area. And then in 2000, her brother moved here because he bought a sailboat. And
Nice.
she got me here on vacation a couple of times and closed the deal. Said, I'm going to move to the beach with your son. You should come with me. So that's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, she was passionate about. She was done with Memphis. She'd grown up there. She was ready to move. So yeah, so we moved here in '03, and so I worked for Auto Trader the first 6 years that we
And
were
were
here.
you in a sales role with Auto Trader?
Yeah. So when we moved here, that was my first time in sales because I'd been in management even after I left the restaurant company. I was with a construction equipment company as like product support, parts management kind of thing, and when we came here on interviews, management roles were paying like half of what they were in Memphis at the time, and so that's when I got the opportunity to go into advertising sales, and it's kind of stuck. So
Yeah.
it's been good. It's been good. And I'm so glad I don't have to manage people anymore. I was good at it back when I was young and had all the energy and a whole lot more patience. But there were a few years ago, we had a little interim where I filled in just briefly, 2 or 3 months, like supervising the sales team, and I was like, Rob, this is not for you. Don't want me doing this. So yeah.
Well, it's like it's a total classic example. Is that just because you're you could be the best sales guy,
right,
doesn't mean that you're going to be a good sales manager.
Right,
I mean, it's a completely different.
It's often the failure of a lot of great salespeople that they try to become sales managers, and they shouldn't have approached it that way. So yeah.
And I mean, what's best for the organization, is having people in the right seats that are, utilized to their best of their abilities. And clearly, that's an example of, hey, Craig's utilization is best out there, bringing business in and helping our clients and stuff like that.
Yeah. Don't you wish these were beers?
Yeah. Well, pretty soon we'll be able to go have.
Are you going to the after hours?
Yeah. I think
so. Good. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got our Wilmington Biz After Hours coming up at 4:30 to 7 at Tequila's this afternoon. Of course, by the time you see this, that won't matter.
Yeah.
But there will be another one.
But there will be another one. So, what type of sales training did you get? Did you do any formal training, or was it just
when I started with the Auto Trader group? So back in the day, Auto Trader had the old school. You'd see the racks of magazines in the quick stops and stuff, and so we had motorcycle trader, boat trader, equipment trader, truck trader, yacht trader, and so they had a pretty good training program when I started. And then with the Business Journal, it was more about just learning the products. But I've not had, I know there are companies that I think I've heard before kids that getting out of college that are interested in sales, like Enterprise allegedly has a hell of a sales training program. So I didn't really go through any, official sales training, lengthy, sales training programs like that. It might have been good for me to do some of that on my own, but no, ours is about learning all of our products. But I will say, now we are focused more on a lot more sales training as part of it. Just the handling objections and doing good customer needs analysis and really being more thoughtful about teaching our new people salesmanship, if you will. So yeah.
I mean, how much of sales would you say, being a good salesperson is just innate, within my, just within my personality, soft skills, you can't teach it, versus how much, can actually be taught and trained?
That is a really good question. I think a lot of it is the relationship piece. That has to be there. Has to be the kind of individual that has the ability to sit here and have this kind of conversation with somebody. Just be genuine and then be willing to listen. I took an improv class a couple of years ago just because I thought it would be really fun. But also I learned so much about Craig, just shut the hell up.
And listen.
Yeah, just listen. Because as people are talking, salespeople, they're already trying to think about what they're going to say. And so I think that helped me. I'm still not good at it. I get in trouble in meetings for interrupting people, like team meetings for interrupting people all the time. I'm like I have something important to say now.
Now, I must be heard.
But yeah, just listen. And then beyond that, I think there are even old school sales methods that are still relevant. That hopefully we're teaching new people as they come along. So,
well, you definitely you can have a certain skill set. You'd be a good salesperson anywhere based on some, kind of soft skills, relationship management. But, when it gets into the technical aspect of, hey, these are the, 17 different media properties that we have, and knowing all that, that's all trainable. You can learn all that stuff. Right.
Yeah, you got to know your stuff for sure. But yeah, and just be prepared. I've made some mistakes before by just not being, like when I'm going back for that follow-up, maybe a proposal meeting, just, Craig, did you really listen? Did
Yeah.
you really listen closely? Did you ask the right questions? You know, you get stung if you're not on top of it like that, you know, so anyway.
Well, I mean, that's something that I wouldn't say I struggle with, but I have to be really conscientious about with is when we do the podcast is, you know, I want to just, and that's why I try not to prepare too much, but I want to just have a conversation. And it's hard sometimes. I get nervous. I'm like, all right, this is a good flow. But I'm like, all right, what do I ask next? You know,
what are we missing? What are we forgetting?
What are we forgetting?
Yeah.
What are we missing? What question should I ask? And you know, sometimes I do get a little bit like, and I'm just like, whoa, just bring it back.
Yeah.
We're just having a
I
chat.
found myself going, when's he, you know, when are we going to talk about, you know, him growing up and, you know, and just shut up, Craig. It'll come if it's supposed to. It'll make its way into the conversation. So, I mean, I agree. Just being willing to listen and just try to engage with people. And I'm all about being genuine. I don't care who it is. I really try to be genuine, be with people. You know?
Authenticity, I think, is one of the, you know, in all aspects of life. Like, people can sense when you're full of shit.
Right.
I mean, most people can. Can't bullshit a bullshitter.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I think that when it comes to just being yourself and being authentic, it actually like kind of disarms people. It's like, oh, Craig's just like a totally normal guy.
Right.
Like, I feel more comfortable around you.
Right.
You know, start having a better conversation.
Sure.
And then next thing you know, that's part of building a relationship.
That's right. That's it, man. That's it. So how long have you been in business now as Component Associates?
2 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's still pretty fresh. And yeah, man, it's, you know, the Biz Journal, and I still call you guys the Biz Journal.
And that's who we are. I mean, call us whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Just show up for dinner, you know.
Yeah.
No, it's just, you know, that's you know, I find it hard to introduce myself, Craig, with Wilmington Media Marketing.
Right.
That's still a you know, tough for me.
Craig from the Biz Journal.
Yeah,
you know,
you know, Craig from the Business Journal.
Yeah.
That's how people know me, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a transition that we're in right now. So, but how many on your team now?
And our 7th employee started on Monday.
Oh, congrats,
actually.
man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's been a really good journey. And what I was gonna say is the Biz Journal has been, you know, a really big part of that, you know, in the chamber and the Biz Journal, and there's a bunch of other organizations out there that I'm, you know, starting to get more involved in. But you know, those were the kind of the first 2 organizations that I got involved with, and I met Rob, you know, through the chamber because we were at the board meetings and we started chatting, and then, you know, and then from there, you know, I've been coming to all the events, doing some marketing with you guys, doing some work for you guys, and it's been a really good relationship.
Yeah,
so.
man. I agree.
Yeah.
I knew I liked you when I first met you. I didn't really know that much about you at the time. I know a whole lot more now. You know, it was cool to, you know, it was exciting to see, you know, you know, when everything worked out with y'all's little one, man, that was magical.
Thank you.
That was really special.
He's 11 months old. Today's the 24th, right? Yeah.
Yes.
He's 11 months old on Friday.
Oh man, that's
crazy
awesome.
how time flies.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, especially if it's people I meet that, like I was meeting with Andy Hewitt the other day and talking about little boys. I was like, you know, because I have one son, and Benjamin, and who will be 29 in September, but like that from 1.5 to 7. I mean, it's magical all the time,
right?
But like when they kind of get their feet under them and they're asking questions, and like you're the best thing that's ever happened to them every freaking day. You can do no wrong, and you know, and they just ask these amazing, ridiculous questions that are just, where did that come from? And they're just super fun. They're kind of small. You can throw them around. You know, I thought that was like kind of really the cool phase, if you will, but it's all great. You know, my son was just home this weekend from Raleigh. He's worked at Whole Foods since he was 16, and he's working on his master's in international studies at NC State. But he was home Friday. I got off Friday afternoon. We went and played golf, and then Saturday and Sunday we watched the Open from like 9:30 till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, but both days, and it was an incredible tournament. And the only way that I would have been able to watch that much golf at my house
is if you're doing it with your son. Yep,
because
totally.
Diana would not have even remotely considered that to be cool.
And that's why the Open the Masters and all the other ones are great, but the Open's the best because you wake up and it's on.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
And then it doesn't, and then it ends at like you said, like 3:30.
You can still go out on the boat.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You can still go get in a quick 9 if you want to.
Yeah. And this tournament specifically was really, really close and some really great golf. And of course, as a crappy golfer, it's just mind blowing to me what they can do. I'm terrible, but it's just mind blowing to me what they can do with a set of golf clubs.
It is. It's amazing.
Yeah. So
how much business do you do on the golf course?
That's there might be opportunities for me to do a little more of that. We're members of the Home Builders Association, so I'm the host for our team two times a year, and I'm usually play golf 2 times a year for that tournament, but occasionally a little more, and it shows. So I'm the beer guy and the comedic relief for our team, and it's a scramble. So I can contribute a shot here and there.
Just all about having fun.
I know there are people that that play like in true business development roles, not so much as, and that's sales too, but it's a little different. That's more about relationships, meeting new bigger clients and that kind of thing. But it's not a big part of what I do, but it'd probably be fun to make it more what I do, but it's a lot of time to play golf. Like my wife kind of trips about how long it takes to play golf.
It's a full commitment.
Yeah. So anyway,
we might have to do a volume 2 at some point because we're already like getting towards the end here. So I'd like to end with if you could maybe share like what are some of the big upcoming events or publications that you guys have, and what might be some good opportunities for some small businesses to sponsor or get involved in some stuff.
So we've got this Wilmington Biz After Hours this evening. Of course, nobody will know about that before this is published. The next Power Breakfast will be September 19th. So that will be all the local county commissioner candidates and then the state races.
Perfect.
We had the 2 governors candidates previously. We've got our under the Wilma brand an Elevate and Celebrate event coming up in August, which is kind of our new non-networking kind of fun social kind of a unique twist on kind of the after hours brand, if you will, for Wilma. Total fun, just like a lot of like we've had hula hooping and cotton candy, and it's a whole different thing, and it's designed for with our Women to Watch brand, that's a lot of professional kind of networking that built around the Women to Watch brand. We wanted to do something that was for women that are not comfortable walking into that room with 200 other women and walking up and hi, so we do fun name tags that ask a lot of great questions, conversation starters, and just music, and kind of make it fun. So that's coming up. I'd say the biggest thing for small businesses to look out for is the Wilmington Biz Conference and Expo.
Yes.
Coming up October 2nd, because not only we'll have seminars both in the morning and the afternoon. So we have seminar slots available still for companies that are interested in kind of in sharing kind of their story and their message and how they impact people. It's all about kind of our spirit of this one this year is about what's your one thing. Tell us kind of what's the one thing that people don't know about your business. We want our exhibitors and our seminar hosts to kind of think about that. What's the one thing that makes you guys unique? So we're having like with our seminars, we're having tracks like talent development and culture and business growth. So we're kind of having some unique kind of fun new themes to the event. But and then there'll be companies that just have a booth at the expo, but we're asking them to even this year to step up. Just don't have a table with your stuff and some handouts and, you know, stand behind the table and speak. Let's step up our game a little bit. We're asking people to kind of really think about what their one thing is and what makes your company unique. Why do people want to do business with you? Why would someone want to work there? And then we're doing kind of a career connect piece that's kind of built into the whole day. So we'll be inviting students from UNCW and Cape Fear Community College to come for the day and to interact with our businesses that are exhibiting and doing the seminars. So we'll even have like some designation for businesses that are hiring, that are interested in talking to people. So yeah, I mean, it's the largest kind of B2B networking event every year without question. So
yeah, last year was the first year we did it, and I was pretty amazed at how many businesses and people you bring together.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to this.
It's good. It's good. Yeah. It's
cool,
good.
Man.
And then we have, of course, we have our ongoing publications and all that. But I'd say the Biz Expo is one we're really focusing on, really stepping up our game this year and asking all of our businesses that are involved to do the same. So
cool.
Kind of exciting.
Well, we'll be a part of that. And
awesome.
And look forward to
come
it.
say hello.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll sing to you or something in your
bet
booth.
You will.
If I can get a mic, sing to the whole expo hall.
What would be cool actually is maybe we can get CB and TK down there and we can do some
live
small business.
Yeah, or do some live podcasting.
Yeah,
stuff.
do some
you
live.
Take this thing live, TK.
Yeah, we could do some live podcasts, do some showcase on some business owners.
That's right.
That'd be
That's
cool.
right. Yeah.
All right.
Right on.
Well, we better get TK out of here. He's got a concert to go play tonight. So.
Hey, you got a gig, don't you, TK? Awesome, man.
Craig, thank you. It was a pleasure,
My pleasure,
man.
dude.
And thanks for everything that you do.
Oh yeah, I'm
And,
glad to be out there, baby.
Let's go drink a beer.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, man.
Right on.
Thanks.